Welcome back to What Arty Noobs. This is an M4A3E8 Thunderbolt VII. It's a Tier 6 American premium medium tank. It's located on the south spawn of Erlenberg and it's under the command of ProvoBob. Now this is the tank that was commanded by the 37th Tank Battalion Commander Lieutenant Colonel Abrams, who later became the US Army Chief of Staff. And because it's Thunderbolt number 7, he must have had a Thunderbolt 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, but most of those were probably wiped out or just changed. This is the Easy 8 with extra armour on the front. Now, where's the armour? Well, it's directly on the front. There's a gap around the machine gun port. There's slab armour on the side, as you can see. Just about make out there's a rectangular plate there. And there's slab armour on the sides of the turret next to the mantlet. But there are weak spots. The lower plate, just underneath the mantlet, and of course the cupola on top of the roof. And the roof itself is a bit of a weak spot. So you can pen this vehicle if you can hit one of those weak spots. If you don't hit the weak spot, you probably won't get through because it does have 123.5mm at the front. And he's going to work now on a VK. First shot, 114. Now the alpha is 115. There's an average shot. There's a below average. And there goes the VK. It's a 75mm gun, as I said, 115 alpha. And penetration is 128mm of armour. He's actually loaded the premium round, which as you can see here will actually do 177mm. And you've got some HE rounds as well. They did develop HE rounds for the 76mm gun. They just weren't very good. 185 alpha from those, but they only go through 38mm. Okay. So what can I say what's good about this tank? Well, it's the armour, for starters, is good. It's definitely good armour. But there are, as I said, there are weak spots, and you can hit this tank in the rear because the rear arm is only 38.1mm. It's 63.5 on the turret all the way round, except of course for that weak spot just underneath the mantlet. Oh, missed the chance on the Jagdpanther there. I think that rise there just turned the tank over and he lost his gun depression. 10 degrees of gun depression. Oh, didn't get through because he was angled at the time. Now you can get it. One into the engine bay. Go for him again. Just keep pumping those rounds in. That was hitting the tracks. That's better. Low roll though. And he's got the kill shot. Well, that guy in the Jagdpanther probably didn't know how to play it. Either that or he was actually being a bit weak, because obviously the AMX 12 ton over there was probably focusing him. And he was a bit worried about what was going to come next. But the problem we've got now is an A40, is that T43? Yes, one of the replacements of the T3485, and there's a Jagdpanzer 4 over there. No, and yeah, the T43 hit us. Only 68 hit points though, because it was an HE round. He obviously knows that he's going to have difficulty with the armour. That's a nice shot for 110, but it's a low roll. Obviously you want to play to the strengths of this vehicle, which is to say that the armour at the front is very, very strong. And yeah, got a round into him, a high roll, but he hit us back with an HE round, and this time he did more damage. Got 117, which is another high roll. Wait for it now. Yep, unfortunately didn't track him, and he hit us again with another HE round, this time 153. Got one in there, low roll for 107. So yeah, we are trading blows with him bit by bit, but if we carry on at this rate, he will take us out because he's doing more damage to us than we're doing to him on an average. And then, oh, one more. That's better. The T43, you can see Alpha's normally 450 with the HE rounds, but he wasn't really getting through the armour. But right behind us now, the Jagdpanzer 4, we get one into his rear. Need to turn quickly to get our frontal armour towards him. Otherwise, he's going to get through every time. And he's got the 88mm gun. Oh. Well, yes, he's got the 88, which is why he was able to pen us, and that's why he did so much damage with that shot. The second shot, he easily got through. There was not a lot we could do because of the fact that I'm afraid the T-43 took away so much of our health that once the Jagdpanzer got involved and started shooting at us, we have major problems. But we are capping at the other end of the map, and this is a reduced numbers game. He's the last enemy alive, and if our teammates can actually get shots into him, which they should be able to because it's got fairly thin armor on the Jagdpanzer IV, then this game will be over. And it is over. So unfortunately ProvoBob died, but he put up a really good fight in a rather hectic battle on the south side of the Erlenberg castle. Let's have a look at the end of battle stats. And here's the end of battle results, and it was a second class tanker for ProvoBob in the M4A3E8 Thunderbolt VII. He managed to get a master gunner for getting 5 armor penetrating shots in a row, a fire for effect for doing more damage than the hit points of his own vehicle, and he got a leather slaves medal for taking out 2 enemy tanks or tank destroyers with a medium tank in that battle, and they had to be at least 1 tier higher than him in the process. So very well done on that. His win rate was 4,571, and that's Super Unicum standard. So let's have a look and see how he fared against the others. Well, he didn't get the highest damage in the game. That actually went to the Eagle 7, but he didn't get a high caliber because it wasn't 20% of the enemy hit pool. 2,187 hit points went to him, and then we've got ProvoBob with 1,912. And the next high score after that was the T29 with 1,737. When it came to kills, it was the T52 who did the best, alongside the Jagdpanzer IV on the enemy team. Both got 3 kills. In fact, the T52 managed to pick up an All-X medal for killing 2 enemy tanks or tank destroyers with a light tank at least 1 tier higher again. And the next high scorers after that were ProvoBob with 2 kills, the T29 and the Hellcat. Nobody on the enemy team, apart from the Jagdpanzer IV, managed to get more than 1 kill. And when it came to base XP, it's ProvoBob who did the best with 1,071, mostly because he was hitting higher tier opponents in that game, tier 7 opponents, and of course he was tier 6. So every time he hit one of them and did damage, he was actually earning more XP overall. The Eagle 7 got 760, the T29 got 742. He fired 25 rounds of 76mm ammunition, got 23 direct hits and 19 penetrations. Couldn't always get the right spot on them or the right angle to get the shot through. 1,912 hit points, all of it done at close range. 8 hits received from the enemy, 3 of those were penetrations, 1 non-penetration and 4 hits by way of splash damage. Most of the splash damage shots were coming from the T-43, who would have had difficulty trying to pen him with standard ammo, so we actually switched to HE, but I'm afraid it was the Jagdpanzer IV who actually got the penetrating shots, the 3 penetrating shots, and they were 88mm rounds, so of course they were going to do a lot more damage, and they stripped away most of his hit points, and that's why he actually died. 4 enemy vehicles were damaged, 2 were killed, and 117 hit points of damage assistance. He earned 48,785 credits from the game, got 40,000 for completing a mission, and 88,785 altogether. After ammunition, resupply and consumables, and yes, he did fire premium ammo again. I'm afraid ProvoBob's got a habit with firing premium ammo. I did explain it to him this evening actually. One of the reasons why we don't encourage people to fire premium ammo all the time is because if Wargaming sees that people are coping perfectly well with gold, they'll make they'll buff things to make the armor on tanks more difficult to penetrate, and then they will actually increase the cost of the gold, so people have to work harder on the games in order to earn the gold, and of course they'll decrease the penetration on that gold as well. So it's basically what we're trying to do is we obviously encourage people to use standard ammo so that they go for the weak spots, and if you use gold all the time, then people will say, oh well, I'll just use gold all the time, and then Wargaming will be laughing all the way to the bank because people will have to play the game a lot in order to keep the keep up their supply of ammunition. and so it works against you in the long run. It's much better to switch to standard ammo and use that instead. On this occasion, at the angles he was shooting, I think he probably would have been able to penetrate the Jagdpanzer IV, but the T-43 would have been difficult without the premium ammo, but I'm sure he could have taken the guy down. And of course, not the Jagdpanzer IV, he would have been able to penetrate both the Jagdpanzer IV and the Jagdpanther. But the T-43 would have been the difference because of the rounded armour. It's a little more difficult to actually get through on that guy, so you do need to have a bit more pen. 1,606 XP, 482 for this being a premium vehicle, 2,088 experience points altogether. So the Thunderbolt, well, it's just basically an upgraded version of an EZ8. It's a bit slower than EZ8, it does have more armour, but it can be brought down. As you can see in this battle, you can bring them down. If you've got a big enough gun, you can take them out the game. And yes, it's also a matter of knowing where the weak spots are. And this tank does have weak spots. It's just most people, when they fire at it, they fire at the heavy armour. And of course, that's why they can't get through. And that's when they switch to using HE, which is a bit of a mistake, because you can take this tank down if you know where to hit. So I hope you enjoyed that replay. If you did, please give this video a like. Do subscribe to our channel. Leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm. And thank you for watching.